across the morning sky, feel what's on the wind. Find the perfect water and hope the day won't end. Tune into the outside from the inside once again. Listen to the thunder and watch an eagle soar. We call it living inside the great outdoors. Inside the great outdoors.
Good morning. This is Joe Castaway Coolis. And a beautiful Sunday morning, you're listening to Inside the Great Outdoors. And
this is still Dr. Norm. My clients used to call me Dr. T. So I'm still here. And sitting across from me, Carl is on his way in.
yes,
He's here someplace in the building. I know he is. He'll be here soon.
yeah.
So what'd you do this week, Joe?
I went fishing, first time ever, to Sandusky Bay. I was amazed at how, when I first started chartering, I had my boat at Winkies, my first boat. Then I moved to Anchors Away.
You know, I had my boat at Winkies, too.
You did?
Yeah. It was pretty crummy back then.
Well, it was simple. All it was a gravel, what do you call it?
I think parvovirus started at Winkies John's down there.
Oh, I never went there.
Boy, you're lucky.
Oh, and so it was simple. And then I moved into Anchors Way.
I moved into Foxhaven after that.
And I had the I got the very first dock. It's when they expanded. So, anyways, but I was amazed at how I went with Sam Horn, and
now what marina does he go out of there?
it's a little small marina. It's a camp
Or a
Romina.
Who's Romina?
Romina.
That's
Oh,
one
who
of
is
the
this?
that's one of the girls he knows up on Sandusky Bay.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
We got to
Romina from Danbury.
Yeah, okay.
We didn't get to introduce you.
Oh, you didn't?
I said you were in the building.
Yeah.
Oh, I was in the building. And now I'm in the chair.
Oh, okay.
This is Carl, Big Daddy Bachtel.
Okay.
How's that?
Very good. It's a little campground. Well, a lot of mobile homes.
Okay.
So, what would you call that? I guess it's a campground, huh?
It's a campground marina.
Yeah, small. And that's where he puts his boat in there.
What
but
side of the bay is it on?
we go across the bay.
The wet side.
Is that the west side?
No, the wet side.
Oh, it's on the northeast
It's on
side.
the north side of the
Yeah,
bay.
yeah.
But go across the Bay Bridge.
Right. But what I was amazed at all the years when I chartered, when I first started, I was amazed, because I haven't been there in so long, how much water there is. I mean, man.
It's one of the Great Lakes and one of the biggest bays around. You know?
It's got to be. I couldn't believe it. So anyway, we get there, and he was all ready for us, and it took about an hour and a half. I took my buddy Jeff. He loves the catfish to eat. I don't care what he catches. If he can't keep it, he don't want to go there. And Sam only keeps fish under 10 pounds. But it was cold. I mean,
it's always colder up by the islands than it is any other place in the state.
But it was in the 50s. But there was a wind. I didn't think there'd be much of wind. So we get there and we learn how he does it. And so nothing. So he moves around. He'll stay in a spot for a while. If it don't produce, it ain't going to produce. So he moves. So anyway, We were at, I think, the third
If
spot.
they're there, they're there. If they're not, they're not.
Well, they were there, but if they're biting or not, because he looks on the screen,
Mhm.
as long as he sees fish, then he'll wait. He got it. He has to judge the current versus the wind, and where your lines are going to go. So it's not like you got to stop and wait and see what's happening, what's controlling the situation, the wind or the current. So we found it. I don't know. It might have been a third spot. Nothing. No bites. Nothing. It's dead quiet. So he said, help me pull the lines. So I go to grab a line, and it was right by the anchor. And I lifted it up and reeled it once or twice, and I thought, oh, shoot, I hooked the anchor. Well, then the anchor that got hooked started running.
Started moving.
Holy crap. So I'm fighting this thing. I can't do nothing. I can't budge it. I finally get it close to it staying down. I'm fighting it, it's staying down. I'm holding on. I can't do nothing. I mean, and at the boat, it's really fighting and fighting. I thought, wow, this is some strong fish. Nothing like I expected. So then finally got it to the surface, and he nets it. It was almost 22 pounds. He was really excited, so I knew it was a good fish the way he was acting, because he sees these all the time. He was thrilled with it. But I was astonished on how strong. That was probably the biggest channel I've ever caught. I've caught big flatheads and blues.
And fatheads.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Got two of them right here.
Did Romina have a fat head?
yeah. I can't believe you
she
actually.
was a big bottom girl.
Oh, jeez. So, and channels, big blues. I caught like a 30-pound blue and, I don't know, maybe a 40-pound flathead. But, so we got a good picture of it, put it up and released it. But I was, and then.
I'm surprised you could hold it out that far.
I couldn't.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't. That was the thing about it.
Me neither.
It was, I'm holding it, and there ain't no holding your arms out and holding the 22 pounds. That was, so I had to have it on my lap. So it was a genuine big fish. So my buddy finally hooked about a 3-pounder. Then he had a pretty good one, and he lost it. We had some bite, and we didn't catch it on my stuff. We just caught it on shrimp. But we were getting some bites on my shrimp sacks, which was really important for me to learn. So I know it has some, but it was just with the cold weather. Then the next day they got 17, and the next day they got 15.
Yeah, it's hit and miss, you know.
So then coming home, by the time we got home, it was
always that way. Should have been here tomorrow.
Yeah. Got home, it was 83 degrees. And luckily we bundled up just in case. But Sam is really a good captain. Wow.
Good.
He wanted me to go tomorrow. He has room, but I got too much. See, my voice feels garbled.
You got to drink something. You're not drinking nothing.
I drank on the way in, but...
Well, you got to drink constantly.
Really?
Yeah, because you dry out.
Mm.
See, I'm drinking all the time.
Yeah. Boy, yeah, because it just... To me, the voice sounds kind of garbly or rough. Does it?
Oh, you're rough.
You're rough and garbled.
Okay, serious now. Does it sound a little off?
Oh, good grief.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now I got 3 people fighting me. Answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You know what it is?
No, I would love to know.
Allergies.
Oh.
You might have some.
Tree pollen.
Tree pollens are out in full force.
There you go.
I always had hay fever and
Gravel.
asthma.
Yeah.
I'll give you asthma.
Okay. So seriously.
Yeah. Drink. And I would drink some water. Get yourself a glass of water.
Well,
There's a
coffee's
nice.
the same.
Well,
No, it's not the same.
It's caffeine in that. It dries you out.
Oh. Because
Right, Carl?
as I'm
Yes.
talking, I notice that it don't sound good.
Get yourself some fresh water over there.
Sounds
There's a
fine.
water machine.
Okay.
It's all those years of smoking.
Yeah, right. I never smoked or drank. Anyway.
Well, you
your
should have.
That's your problem? You'd be whistling like a bluebird.
Yeah. See, you can't whistle either. Your mouth's too dry.
That's right.
Well,
I can't.
That's a terrible whistle.
Wow. I used to be able to whistle.
You know,
If I suck it in, there's a
Well,
little
that's
bit.
a
You know.
terrible.
you know,
Wow.
the easy way to tell if you're
Yes.
dehydrated is to look at your fingertips, if they're wrinkled. But your fingertips are always wrinkled because everything on you is wrinkled.
Oh. Oh, my gosh.
Except your eyes when you get your shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
Do they?
Yeah.
So it was a fun day, but I was amazed two things. The fight of the fish, because it was no just bring it in. And the other thing is how immense an area it is.
Sandusky Bay.
Yes. I mean, you think you're on a lake. You look and don't
You
see
are.
nothing.
You are.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I didn't realize it was that big. And so it was a good experience. Could have been better fishing, but that's
It's
okay.
an underutilized
Yes.
portion of the
But
bay.
it is growing.
Yeah.
Because Sam said, well, it is people that are now coming from all over the country to fish for it because
fish
it's
for
a top
catfish.
spot for channel cats and
But
big ones.
you know there are other fish in there too.
Oh, sure.
There are bass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There are
crappie.
Tons
Yeah.
of,
There are
tons
perch.
of
But-
panfish.
yeah.
Tons of bass in
But
there.
the thing is now, this is when those big guys are coming in. That's why this is the prime time. Okay, so if you were going to go there for crappie or bluegills, where would you go?
in the water.
Oh my God!
I would fish around docks.
So
Look for weed
so
edges.
Look
what
for
about
weed
what about
beds.
the
crab.
causeway?
Look
Those-
for wood in the water.
That's where I would go for catfish
oh,
along
you're
the
right.
causeway.
But okay, but what about for the? So you
I would go around the periphery of the bay.
okay, and then
but
what?
be
For
careful.
perch, I'd
There,
find some holes in the weeds.
yeah.
Well, I didn't see
But
any
be
weeds.
careful.
Shallow.
There's a lot of submerged docks and a lot of submerged rocks in that bay. You got to
Yeah.
be really careful.
Well, when we left the dock, he had to get it on plane because it was only 2 foot deep,
yeah,
and so it's so go in there if you don't know what you're
a
doing.
lot of submerged sandbars and things. We used to duck hunt there, and of
Yeah.
course we'd load that whaler up. With 120 decoys. It's a lot of weight,
yeah.
and plus you have 3 fat guys in that boat.
Oh,
Well, I was thinner back then.
Oh.
I was very svelte.
were you?
Oh yeah,
Really?
all of us were pretty thin.
Yeah,
Believe it or not.
yeah. But it so
I was
we
thin once.
were you
Once.
when you were born, huh?
Yep.
But so it was a education, and it was interesting to see. I learned a lot. I had of course, I had a great time. Only caught one fish, but it was a fish. So the picture was all worth it. I got some video I got to work on, and so I know you've been there, Carl, and experienced, but I hadn't, and so it was a new experience. But it was if I didn't catch that, it would have been okay, But it was the fish made the day,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
We-
last year I went with Michael Bray up there, and
to Sandusky
we
Bay
fished in the bay, and
For what?
we were looking for crappies.
That
and
was that
whatever.
tournament,
No, we
Oh.
were looking for whatever,
and
and caught a bunch of sheephead,
yeah,
a few catfish, and we found a very shallow perch spot, maybe 3.5 foot deep, but it was a big hole in the weeds, and the perch were in there. And
so
Caught a
it's
few perch.
weedy at the shore.
Yeah.
See where we're
Depending
at.
on where you go, it can be weedy,
Yeah.
it can be rocky.
Yeah.
See,
There's hundreds of
the
areas
causeway
to fish
or
there.
the bridge, there's no weeds. I
No,
didn't see a
no,
weed.
It's flowing really good through there.
Yeah, oh,
too.
yeah.
It's a channel.
Yeah, but he said the problem was the wind and the current fighting, and that's why we didn't do well. Because then he did great, and he's been doing good. So I see another guy got a 25-pounder, but I'm thinking. He said, well, he knows luckily how to take pictures, but I'm holding it and I'm thinking, ain't no way I'm going to hold this thing out there. I got to use my legs to help hold it up. It was fun. It was really fun. Yeah, so thanks for asking. It was a very nice day, very nice day. And that will take a break. You're listening to Inside the Great Outdoors. It's a little windy out there. I see even the tops of the trees are
Not
blowing.
as windy as yesterday.
Ooh, yesterday was windy.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we had trees down, and my buddy's out past Ravenna, and no power, and no power till Monday afternoon. So, we'll take a break and be back.
You see me, but you blowing the line when you're making a scene. Oh, girl, you got to know.
No matter what species of fish you target, Kodiak Scents has great products that will help you catch more fish. One of those is Kodiak Candy, specifically designed to attract any species you fish for. Panfish, trout, catfish, or walleye, Kodiak Candy is full of freeze-dried scent. Freeze-drying concentrates the scent and makes it irresistible. Kodiak Candy even works on saltwater fish. Easy to put on the hook, this candy will get the fish's attention and trigger more bites. To order your Kodiak Candy or any of the line of Kodiak scent products, head to www.castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Welcome back. Listening to Inside the Great Outdoors on a beautiful Sunday morning. A little windy. Now the wind's let up. Just now it let up a bit. I'm sure it's going to be back. Yeah, yesterday was, boy. And then these tornadoes. Man, there's like, Kentucky had like 18 dead and all kinds of stuff. And then I just saw in the news that a Japanese naval ship, like a triple Mexican, thank you. Mexican naval ship. What did I say?
Japanese.
Oh, gee whiz. See, my mind's getting goofy. Ran into the Brooklyn Bridge, but it just knocked off the top, but it killed 2 or 3 people and injured 19. Man, I guess it lost power and just ran right into the bridge. But, so with this wind, a lot of deaths and stuff. Boy, tornadoes are like, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, this year's been a bad year for tornadoes. Well, last year was bad too.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yesterday was windy. But there's my buddy had 60-mile-an-hour winds, and I didn't get to look around the property. But I was able to twice work on the where I'm going to plant the Indian corn and
Native American
and
Calico.
Calico. Yeah, then he won't give me a hard time, Carl.
Who?
If I say Doc, if I say Calico, okay. I could say colored. That would be worse.
No, that's worse.
Oh, okay. Well, it's multicolored corn. Rainbow. Okay, rainbow corn. Anyway, it was loaded with thistle. I did it, went slow with my cultivator. No physical problems. I cut a whole bunch of grass. Went nice and slow. No problems.
Thistle will come back. It's hard to get rid of.
Very hard. Very hard. But what I'm doing is I'm digging it up with the cultivator. This cultivator I have is pretty cool. It has 2 rows of, they're like a big wedge. And in front of that, there's 4 just little posts, I guess you'd almost say little mini shovels. So the problem is there are spaces, so it doesn't get it all. So I went the second time, but thistle is the worst thing. You know, it just keeps coming back. On my power line, I got a bunch of it too. So, but I got the field pretty good. I think today I might take the ATV and ride the field and pick up rocks, because then I'm going to cultivate it. Rototill it. Now, the problem I noticed planting corn in the past is I would look to check, because it buries it, so you don't, if you see it, then you know something's wrong. Well, I realized I would see places where it was just like this tabletop, and you'd see a slice in it, but the corn sitting on top. Well, I finally, after all these years, realized, yeah, it's hard. It can bury it. So if I rototill it, it'll all be soft, and I don't have to rototill deep. I mean, where I'm planting, you only plant corn 2 inches deep, so I could even run the rototiller. Doesn't have to be deep. Rototill it, and then I'm going to plant. I'll have better production. Just realized I didn't think about it, but the rototiller, what I worry about it, there's a lot of sandstone, and so if it grabs a big sandstone, it'll lock it up. Well, the last time that happened, it broke the shaft, so I had to replace it. So if it's a hard stone, it'll bounce over. But I did take and I moved one rock at a time with the backhoe, almost 100 rocks, and I put them all along my new driveway that I had, built.
You get your backhoe inside your head.
What?
How'd you get your backhoe inside your head to get the rocks out?
You want some rocks? I got some rocks for you. You do want some? Oh my God!
Eventually.
But I looked and I saw.
Just trying to keep you on your toes, man.
Okay. I look at all these rocks that I moved. Boy, I moved years of moving. Anyway, I forgot your rhubarb sitting on the counter, but so you got to come get that, and then you could come get some rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So don't forget. But so it was a good, productive week. Health seems to be getting a little bit better.
Keep looking for arrowheads and stuff too in those rocks, you know.
Yeah, I've only found one, and it was a pink one, rare. And I found that when I built that real little pond where I have the hippo and all the cattails by the house.
Did you find a hatchet head or something
yes.
too?
It's I don't know. It's not a hatchet. It could be a hatchet, but it was like a tomahawk. You're right.
Yeah.
And it had some lines on it and some X's, and I don't know what. Maybe like Indians killed somebody or something. But it's a cool looking thing, and it's that gray, white, striated.
Killed some pioneers with it.
Probably.
He skinned his first mammoth with when he was a boy.
Yeah.
Could have been a relative, Joe.
Yeah, maybe. How many dinosaurs he killed with it.
Yeah.
Right, he killed with it. So, how was your week?
It was all right.
Just all right?
That was good.
Any good fishing?
Yeah.
Good. How
Went
about work?
Yesterday in the wind.
Oh, how about the
work?
How about
was all right.
Work's okay?
Had fun at the Perry Township Police Department Cops and Bobbers event.
Okay.
Which was Monday. They kicked off National Police Week.
Yeah.
With a nice family youth fishing derby.
Was that in Lake County, Perry?
It was in Stark County.
Oh, Stark County. Okay.
Yep. Down at Petros Park, which is down next to the big Timken plant down there.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of something else.
It's sort of between Maslin or Navarre and Canton. So, and it was fun. We had some kids. They were catching catfish the size of the one you caught.
Really?
Yeah, they had a little kid. He caught a 31.5-inch channel cat.
Wow.
He was grinning from ear to ear.
Oh,
the thing was
bet.
about as tall as he was. And his little sister caught one that was 26, and there's some big catfish in there they stock it with, and, people were catching bluegills.
Did they
bass
release the
and-
catfish?
I guess they had a good time at Metro Parks over at Wallace Lake. They caught a bunch of fish, too.
Did they?
You know?
There were
Yeah,
probably
they caught bass and trout and all kinds of stuff.
Well, this one's really cool because a lot of the Stark Parks is involved. They had a little concessions trailer where they had hot dogs and all sorts of, food and snacks and drinks, and the multiple police agencies there from across Stark County Sheriffs and Perry Township Police and a few other local departments. They all pitch in and make it like a county-wide thing, and there were 300. There were 300 over 300 signed up for it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was packed. Lined the whole shoreline. kids and their families, and it was shoulder to shoulder down there.
Wow.
I didn't hear anybody screaming from getting a hook in the ear either, so they were all paying attention real good.
And they were catching fish.
Yep, the Stark County Federation of Conservation Clubs. They provided 300 fishing rods and tackle for the kids and bait and all sorts of stuff. And they're just night crawlers and a single hook.
Yeah.
And the kids were catching all sorts of stuff. Nice bluegills, nice catfish, a couple little bass were caught, everything. So it looked like, I was down there, did a little story on it, and some of the Cass Cray guys were there and handing out some stuff. And
good.
They gave out T-shirts and all sorts of neat stuff. So
that's
it was
great.
fun. It was good to see. It's a good way to kick off National Police Week, which is time to remember all those lost in the line of duty but
which is sad.
Mm-hmm. But it's good way to give back for them, and it's a good way for the community to show we appreciate them. So
Wallace Lake was lined up too. They really redid Wallace Lake. They paved the parking lot there this week. Really did a nice job, and they fixed a lot of the buildings there.
Yeah,
put a lot of sand along the beach. There were kids lined up all along the lake there. There had to be, I would say, maybe 100 cars in the parking lot there.
Wow.
It was packed. I was going to stop, but I tell you, my back was acting up, so I didn't stop.
The other one at 49th at Canal Way.
That's today.
Yeah, that's today.
It's going to start at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
So
East 49th at the Canal Way Reservation.
Yeah.
Do you have to pre-register?
No, you don't have
you can
to.
show up. And
you just
okay,
show
so
up.
give that out again. Where is it?
It's on East 49th.
Okay.
In, what is that? It's not Newburgh. What's the other one? Further south. Cuyahoga Heights.
Cuyahoga Heights, I think.
It's it's right on the edge of Cleveland and Cuyahoga Heights.
Yeah, it's along the canal there.
Yep.
And that's such a 9
they stock
o'clock?
the canal and just go down there and catch catfish
You'll
and trout and
You'll
bluegills.
catch a bunch of stuff.
So from
all
9
different
till
species.
when?
I'm not
9 to 12,
12,
I think. Yeah.
And what is the age limit?
I forget it. They do the
15
small kids
it's 15
first.
and under, but the little kids fish
Go
first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Oh, good.
I will look and see and post the info, and I'll let everybody know on the radio too. So
I had it written down someplace.
Yeah, we'll find it here.
I forget.
Well, we're up again, so we'll take a break. You're listening to Inside the Great Outdoors, and take a short break, and we'll be back with much, much more.
If you troll for walleye, steelhead, or even salmon, you need to check out Castaway's Magnetic Divers. The release is magnetic, so if it trips accidentally, no need to retrieve it. Simply give the line slack, it sinks and resets itself automatically. When fishing is slow, trip the diver when trolling. It will come up through the water column and very often trigger a strike because you are now covering different depths. It can be set to go off to the right, left, or straight behind the boat. It comes in 3 sizes and different colors. Why not try one today? You can order them online at castaway.com. That's castaway.com with a K. You will not only improve your fishing success, but will make trolling fun again because of no more retrieving after a false release. That's Castaway's Magnetic Diver at www.castaway.com with a K.
Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
The views and comments of the co-hosts of this show aren't necessarily those of Inside the Great Outdoors. Any complaints or comments can be sent to them directly at 444-444-4444, extension 4 for Dr. Norm, extension 44 for Carl. Any comments or complaints for Castaway Coolest, you can just leave them to yourself.
Action.
Welcome back. Listening to Inside the Great Outdoors. God. Michael.
Good morning.
How's
Good
it going?
morning. Oh, it's a little chilly.
Is
A little
it?
chilly.
What are you catching?
Well, I just got my first walleye just a few minutes ago.
Good.
And, it's, that whole northwest wind thing here, switching around is not fun.
Yep.
And so we were playing around in the mouth of the Huron River, and it looked like the Indians out here circling the wagons. We're all just kind of doing a little circle, and then the circle's getting a little bit too much, so I'm going to head in here, call her a day. But had the magnetic divers working the other day with the Dipsy,
Good.
or not the Dipsies. Yeah, so I'm sorry, bad word, smack me. That's the coffee not kicked in yet.
Yeah.
And today the bandits seemed like they're working a little better, but only got one, but I'm watching other folks here.
Yeah.
But hopefully you guys are doing good. It's a little chilly out here, man. We come around here,
Oh, we lost.
we're all hiding.
Oh, there he
Yeah.
is.
There you go.
So what size was the walleye?
Oh, he's a 23. I'm not complaining. That's a good eater.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I was going to send Carl pictures of my fish I caught the other day. I got a nice 28-inch walleye and a couple of them. I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to send. And then you post this big catfish monster as big as a couch, and I'm like, well, that took the wind right out of that sail.
Oh, that was fun. What did you catch? What are you using today?
Today I got a couple magnetic divers going with worm harnesses, and I just got the one with a bandit and a bandit aboard.
Okay.
And I forgot my little juice to put on there. I put your scent on there too today.
Yeah.
And I forgot.
What depth of
So
water are you fishing?
What's that?
What
Oh,
depth?
we're at the mouth of the river. We're probably in about 26, 27
Really?
foot of water, and looking over here, it says 61 degrees
You're
today.
kidding?
So.
That close?
Yeah. Oh, well, see, we don't get real deep water up there like you guys do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we got to go out. Gosh, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles to get in 40 foot of water. You know what I mean?
Oh, but the fish are in where you're at, so
Fish
that's
are in where
how-
we're at. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
A lot of times I let them boys go out. They pass me out. I'm out here running shallow, and I just wave at them as they're driving way out there.
Wow.
And
That's the
I
same
try not
like
to wave at
Rocky
that too
River.
much.
You can go in there
Yeah,
close and catch fish. You know, you don't
resident-
have to go away.
Resident fish in there.
Yeah.
But when did that start? Because a long time ago, nobody did that. How did...
They were
were
in there,
there.
but nobody did.
they were in there. Nobody was looking at it. Yeah,
Yep.
the old boys. I remember seeing the old boys over here. Bob Bowers. I don't know what he used to have. I can't think of it. His name Fish Erie Charters and the shoebox. They used to come over here in little boats, and they'd pull Hottentots, and or Bob got their catching, and the one little guy, Jimmy,
Nobody looked shallow because they're all looking for that darn tuna tower out there.
exactly right.
Yeah,
Where's
they'd
Mother
be out
Goose?
there
Like
in
a
their
zebra.
14, 16-foot aluminum boats with Hottentots and wiggle warts, and they'd be whacking them, you know?
Right. And no line finders. You just let that thing
No,
float
you
out there.
just let
Oh,
it
it looks
and-
like that. That looks good.
That's right.
Just pull it in there.
The
They'd
Yep.
wait until their six-pack was done, then they go in, you know?
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Well, speaking of Sandusky Bay, I love hearing the story my buddy tells that his first job was he had a lineman. These old guys would go out there fishing, perch fishing.
Yeah.
His job was every 2 hours bring more beer and bait, and then empty buckets. And he'd
Wow.
drive out to them, take them beer bait, and get
Really?
the fish, and then come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
That's a truism, too, because I knew a lot of old guys with limans.
Yep.
Not
Wow.
everybody could do that, John, 'cause I think half the beer wouldn't make it most of the time.
Yeah, well,
Right?
the delivery guys were worse than the old guys in the boats, you know.
Yeah.
But those were the days. You can't really do that much now. They watch
Yeah.
you. They
Not allowed.
watch you.
Yeah,
Wow.
I remember seeing the bucket going out with my dad and grandpa and seeing the buckets, stack of 5-gallon buckets in the back.
Yeah,
And I'm like, what's that for? They said, oh, if we get in them, we're going to load them all up.
yeah.
And we do that and the dang minnow cooler too. We throw everything in there.
Yep.
Wow, it's
Anywhere
amazing.
you could.
And then you'd be cleaning perch all afternoon and
Yep.
night,
Oh.
you know?
Yep. And that's why today I have a scaler, because I used to be a full-time scaler. Me
Yeah.
and my cousins, we did it out there with a spoon and at a different table, and they'd be over there drinking beer, and they'd be hollering for more fish, and we'd have scales
All over.
encrusted all over us.
Scale in your hair and everything else.
Yeah,
you know?
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then Mom would send us on our bikes because she didn't want us in the house, so she'd send us, and we'd go get on our bikes and shampoo and go down to the lakefront park, kind of wash all that stuff off, and then come back, and then we could take a shower.
Yeah.
We were walking in the house like that.
Wow. Yeah, some good memories.
Those are the days, my friend.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are the
Are
days.
there many
yeah.
boats out?
Just because we're by the mouth here, there's probably 15 boats out here right now. It's kind of like bumper boats. That's what I'm.
Really?
And so.
And,
Yeah.
and how's the wind and the water?
Oh, so, like I said, we are kind of being sheltered by the pier and the lighthouse here and the other entrance.
Okay.
When you get around that corner, yeah, it gets a little bumpy out there.
Yeah.
It gets a little nautical.
Are still people going way out with this wind?
I just saw one guy go out there, and he's got one of them big old Hughes crafts, look like a tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But not me.
Yeah.
Not a little boat day.
No. But the bigger guys are getting out?
Yeah, the bigger guys are going out there a little bit,
Okay.
or they'll probably fly down there to Cranberry Castle area here in a minute,
Yeah.
because that's this depending on which way the wind's going to go, I guess.
Yeah.
So, got to be smart. Like we always say, it's optional we go out, but it's mandatory we come back.
Yep, exactly. Good. Well, I'm glad you're catching already, so I'm sure you'll do better. You'll do more, not better, you'll
Right.
do more. So, yeah, good. Well, appreciate the phone call.
Yeah, thank
All
you.
right,
for the
gentlemen,
phone
be
call.
good.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah,
fun.
thanks
All
for
right,
the
thanks.
update.
We will.
See ya.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Cuyahoga Heights, Erie Canal down there. Kids, let's see, kids 4 to 8, it's 9 to noon. Kids 9 to 15, 1 to 4. And after 4, all you big kids can go fishing.
Okay. And let's go to the phone lines. Good morning, Jim.
Doctors,
How's it
How you
going?
doing, Jim?
they got the docks in the Rocky River down by the marina. All the docks are in.
Oh, great. I was down there Tuesday, and they weren't in yet, you know?
Yeah. Okay. And Joe was mentioning that he found this thing, and it looked like a hatchet or a
Yeah, but
hammer.
rounded. It was
Yeah,
bulky.
rounded.
Bulky.
Okay, well, excuse me. Back then, they used those. It sort of looks like a used bar of soap,
Well, yeah, but it's a triangular shape.
triangular. Okay, either or, but it's kind of worn around the edges and it's smooth.
It's all
right?
it's rounded all the way around. Yes.
Okay. Well, they burnished their wood products, whether it be arrows, whether it be bows, whether it be tent poles, anything that they were making out of wood, they would burnish to close the pores of the wood. And then I don't know if they would use animal fat or whatever they used. I have no idea.
How did they burnish it?
They would rub the stone on the wood to close the grain.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a burnishing tool.
okay. I never knew. I thought burnishing related to burning with heat.
No.
Okay.
Well, like when I was shooting a lot, I was making my own wood arrows, and you'd have to straighten them every time you go out. And we had a hook straightener where you'd actually roll your arrow on a little roller and find the spot where it's bent, and then you'd just burnish it a little bit and get your arrow real nice and straight. And that's what we did. I was using Port Oxford cedar. That's what I was using. You can use ash and some other woods, but the cheapest and the lightest and the most popular was that Port Oxford out of the West Coast. But the guys were bringing home chests of walleye earlier in the week.
Yeah.
When that weather was cooperative, and then we had that rain. So I'm glad you caught your fish.
Oh, man. Me too.
That you went hunting for it, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, you guys have a great week.
You too. And appreciate the
Jim.
info.
Okay.
Thanks, Jim.
See ya.
Yeah. Jim, that's an interesting thing. Could be. Yeah, because it was more like a, what do you call the stone with that they used to grind pedestal?
Mortar and pestle.
Yeah. What is it?
Mortar and pestle.
Mortar. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the pestle, rounded like that, but triangular, so it fit in your hand nice.
Yeah.
And
Probably
you could
to crush stuff. Maybe to crush stuff like certain seeds to make powders, to make flour or something.
Right. So it was more like that than a tomahawk.
Or for a wife to hit her husband in the head if he wasn't doing things right,
Yeah. See? But it was cool. That was I found some other stuff, but that I looked down at my foot. I had built this pond and moved rocks and stuff, and I looked down, and just on top of the soil, gravelly dirt, it's sitting there like somebody dropped it.
Sometimes those things just stick out,
Yeah.
Like fossils. Fossils stick out like that.
Yeah.
They just catch your eye.
But it was a pink arrowhead, and that was the only arrowhead I ever found.
I know my little boy once found a spear point. It's white flint. And he found it in Parma
My
Heights.
buddy, though, we were turkey hunting in Ohio somewhere, and he found a spear like 5-6 inches long, black.
Oh, this wasn't that big. This was probably maybe 4 inches long.
Oh, this is pretty long, and he found it right next to me. He got to it before I got to it, but it was all this traveling. That's the only thing I've ever seen. Just not lucky, I guess. So.
And all the little kids, after he found it, they're digging in that side of the hill. Never found nothing after that. Just that one.
Yeah. It's amazing.
A lot of guys that walk like freshly plowed farm fields and all over to do that.
Well, see, the problem with the power
There's a couple
line.
guys in Wayne County that do it. There's a couple of YouTube channels.
Really? Because the
down
power
by
line that
Mohawk Dam, after that floods, they say that's a good area to look for around that dam and that.
Because
by that lake down there.
The power line, they've worked it, and they pulled the topsoil out of there. So that's maybe why I don't say anything. Anyways, time for a break. You're listening to Inside the Great Outdoors. Beautiful sunny out. A little cool this coming week, but at least you can get out and do something outdoors. So we'll take a break and be back.
Yes, right between the sound machine. On the cloud of sound, I drift in the night.
Do you enjoy a good story about hunting or fishing? Then you need to get your hands on Tales from the Trails, the real-life adventures of Castaway Coulis. Take a journey around the world with Joe as he recounts some of his best hunting and fishing trips, from Africa to Alaska, from behind the Iron Curtain to Australia. You can share in his memories through the book, complete with pictures to take you on the journey. It's a trip back in time looking through the eyes of an outdoors legend. Order your copy today on Amazon or at castaway.com. That's castaway with a K.com. Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Welcome back. Listening to Inside the Great Outdoors. Right now, well, the tree's way up higher, blowing around, so I guess it's going to be. But as Mike says, in close, you're okay, but I guess you're not going to get out too far. So yesterday, did the wind affect the fishing?
I would imagine. They're probably 3 to 4 footers on Berlin.
Oh, boy.
Going west to east.
Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
These little lakes will churn up pretty quick around here because they're shallow.
Yeah.
It was very muddy.
Yeah.
Still caught some nice fish, though.
Yeah.
Fun. Caught about 30.
What?
Crappies and 2 catfish and 1 bluegill.
Using?
The cast cray.
Plain?
Yep.
Which color?
Orange dreamsicle.
What the heck is that?
Flow orange is what it's called. It's
Oh.
dreamsicle.
And what shape?
It's orange. Minnow.
You like
Minnow was the best.
Yeah. Is
You
that
like the minnows.
Is that pretty
Yep.
much consistently the best shape?
Some guys use the Minskies. Some guys use the planktons. Some guys use the cicadas. Some guys use. They all work.
You know, it depends the situation.
It just, with all baits, no matter what you fish for, fishermen are going to have a confidence bait.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like the minnow shape. I
Yeah.
like the action of them. I like the softness. I like the action of the tail.
I remember when I was fishing, going to college and fishing a lot, I had CP swings I loved.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I had. I would just use those because I knew they would work, and if anything, it was going to work, but it was a confidence thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had confidence in it, and I loved those.
I like a plastic worm.
Yeah, see, everybody
they work
has.
really good.
Right. So there's not one bait that works. It's what probably.
At least for bass.
Well, and this was really for everything. But the thing about it, what was so interesting, as I look back, if you have confidence in a bait, and you're fishing it, and you'll use it a little bit longer, and you get a fish, and that's what constantly builds I just now see some video of why the guys with the Mexican sail ship got killed or hurt badly. They were standing on those masts. They're big, huge masts, and they were lined with people all the way up. So, parallel how the mast goes across, they were loaded with the naval guys. And that's why there were so many deaths and so many injuries so bad, because they were sailors standing on those masts.
How tall is that bridge, Jose?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what, when you see them, there were a lot of guys there, and the top 2 rungs, I guess, got broken, and so those guys fell a long way, probably to the deck of the boat. If they fell in the water, they were probably injured. If they fell to the deck, that's why. Okay, now it makes sense why it was so bad. But I don't know that. Boy, you see the video they've got.
When it hit the bridge, there wasn't anybody on the...
Yes, I'm looking at the video right this minute.
Those are lights.
No, there's guys standing on top of it. I just looked at it.
When it hit the bridge.
Yes, there were guys standing. I'm looking at it right now.
Let me see the video you're looking at.
Okay, I'll let you watch it. It'll take a little while. Yeah, there were guys standing there.
I know they're standing on the mast there, but I
right.
don't
But watch,
think...
if you keep watching, It'll keep going. Is it moving?
Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll fix it here.
I'm looking at it on mine.
Are you looking at the same one?
It's a different angle, but
we got.
all I see is lights.
Well, it's hard to look. You could be right. It's hard to tell. Anyways,
I know I'm right.
whatever. It's still sad. So talk about something else. But what did you do, Doc, this week? Anything good?
Not really.
No.
It was kind of a boring week.
Was
you
it?
know. We got a lot of plants to plant.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I did too.
Flowers mainly.
Yeah.
And I got my herbs to plant,
Okay, I did too.
We got one tomato plant.
I got 4 of the big tomato plants that have blossoms on it.
Mm-hmm.
I always buy 4 of those, so I'll get some tomatoes early. And then I bought a flat of the regular tomatoes, different varieties.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping maybe this week. I got a lot of chicken manure I put into my raised bed, and some of it I got rototilled, but it was too wet. I'm hoping this week, but that is the best fertilizer. Oh boy. I got some cabbage, and I got lettuce, cabbage, and then I'm going to plant cucumbers. I'll do that from seeds. I'm not going to do green beans because they all come at once and then nothing, and so I'm going to do different. And then I do the Swiss chard for the chickens because they love the Swiss chard, so I'm going to plant that. But I did the same thing. And then I bought 4 hanging baskets.
Oh.
And then I bought, because I have old hanging baskets. So then
hanging baskets. Mary Lou got hanging baskets from the kids for Mother's Day.
Oh, okay. So then I got old hanging baskets. So I went back and got more soil, got more plants, and did some. And I got to do more. I got to put them together yet. So I've been watering, and then I noticed the tomatoes that I have in the flats were doing a little not too good. And so I forgot you can't just water them. It uses up the nutrients because there's not much in there.
No.
So I'm going to make Miracle Grow up today, and I'll Miracle Grow them till I get them in. So we can go to the phone lines. Good morning, B.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
I'm real good. How are you today?
Good. A lot better than the past.
No, so I see, she was, your kidneys, you have to, we're all supposed to drink half of our weight in ounces of water.
Oh, yeah. I've been drinking a lot of water, but
Well, let me tell you something. 1 cup of coffee you've got to drink 4 to 6 glasses of water to replace all of the water because it's a very strong diuretic. And on top of that, it depletes a lot of, because when you urinate all of that out, it takes a lot of minerals. Now, it's also acidifying your body, so it's even taking more minerals out of your bones. So you're losing a ton of minerals.
Yeah. Luckily, I only have 1 cup. But the only other thing I drink is water.
I would recommend, this is what I did, because, I used to drink tons of coffee, and I switched to green tea, and even white tea is even better. It tastes even better.
Yeah.
But it's hard to find. But green tea is so much better than coffee, and it doesn't have any caffeine. And green tea will help prevent kidney stones just in and of itself. And what you could do, you could squeeze your lemon in there.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't mind it maybe so much. And
when I used to drink tea, I always put lemon in it. But
you gotta create a new habit.
Yeah,
if you don't like something,
I definitely know I've got to drink more water. So I definitely am
unless you want to keep having kidney stone grief, that's where I wouldn't play around with coffee or any kind of caffeine. That's a bad idea. I wanted to correct something. I mentioned NAC to remove toxins, and when your liver's going through phase 2 detox, and the toxins are coming out. It's acetyl cysteine, not carnitine. And that's they use that in hospitals to help people detoxify their livers when they've overdosed on or been exposed to a high level of something that they need to get out quickly. And that's really a good idea to take for everybody because of all of the forever chemicals and plastics and heavy metals in our food.
Yeah.
And that helps keep that stuff out, get it out of your body. And I was mentioning the the clay, the calcium. But these things are very inexpensive. But you can get 2 pounds of calcium bentonite clay for less than $20, and it will last about 3 years.
Wow.
It doesn't go bad.
Yeah.
And you put about, maybe 500 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams in a glass of water, and sip that while you're eating the meal throughout the meal, so it distributes evenly.
Yeah.
And it will grab a hold of everything nasty, toxins, heavy metals, plastics, whatever's pesticides, all of that, and it'll also pull out those types of residues in the lining of your gut while it's going through. Now,
well, we're up against it, so.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys have a good day.
Okay, thanks for calling me. Oh, okay, we're gone, and we're gone too. We're taking the first hour's gone by. We got 2 to go. So if you have any questions, 216-901-0945 is the phone number. We'll take a break and be back.